George Clinton, July 26, 1739 to April 20, 1812, served from 1805 to 1812 as the fourth VP in the organizations of both Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. As VP, he set up the trend of not carrying concentration to himself and on second thought basically directing the Senate. George Clinton was brought into the world on July 26, 1739, in Little England, New York, somewhat more than 70 miles north of New York City. The child of rancher and nearby legislator Charles Clinton and Elizabeth Denniston, not much is known about his initial instructive years despite the fact that he was secretly coached until he joined his dad to battle in the French and Indian conflict. Clinton rose through the positions to turn into a lieutenant during the French and Indian conflict. After the conflict, he got back to New York to concentrate on regulation with a notable lawyer named William Smith. By 1764 he was a rehearsing lawyer, and the next year he was named the lead prosecutor. In 1770, Clinton wedded Cornelia Tappan. She was a relative of the well-off Livingston tribe who were rich landowners in the Hudson Valley that were unmistakably hostile to English as the states drew nearer to open defiance. In 1770, Clinton established his authority in this tribe with his protection of an individual from the children of freedom who had been captured by the traditionalists responsible for the New York gathering for subversive criticism. Clinton was designated to address New York at the Second Mainland Congress, which was held in 1775. In any case, in the most natural-sounding way for him, he hated authoritative assistance. He was an up, not known as a person. He before long chose to leave the Congress and join the conflict exertion as a brigadier general in the New York Volunteer Army. He helped prevent the English from dealing with the Hudson Waterway and was perceived as a legend. He was then named a brigadier general in the mainland armed force. In 1777, Clinton went against his old well-off partner Edward Livingston to be legislative leader of New York. His success showed that the influence of the old rich families was dissolving with the continuous progressive conflict. Despite the fact that he passed on his garrison to turn into the state's lead representative, this didn't prevent him from getting back to military assistance when the English attempted to assist with supporting the settled in everyday John Burgoyne. His authority implied that the English couldn't send help, and Burgoyne at last needed to give up at Saratoga. Clinton filled in as lead representative from 1777 to 1795 and again from 1801 to 1805. While he was critical in assisting with the conflict exertion by organizing New York powers and sending cash to help the conflict exertion, he still generally kept a New York first disposition. As a matter of fact, when it was reported that a tax was to be viewed as that would extraordinarily affect New York's funds, Clinton understood that a solid public government was not in his state's well-being. In view of this new getting it, Clinton was emphatically against the new Constitution that would supplant the Articles of Confederation. Nonetheless, Clinton before long recognized the inevitable that the new Constitution would be endorsed. His expectations moved from restricting approval to turning into the new VP under George Washington with expectations of adding alterations that would restrict the range of the public government. He was gone against by the Federalists who saw through this plan, including Alexander Hamilton and James Madison, who attempted to have John Adams chose as VP. All things being equal, Clinton ran in that first political decision, however was crushed for the bad habit administration by John Adams. It is critical to recollect that right now the bad habit not entirely settled by a different vote from the president, so running mates didn't make any difference. In 1792, once more, Clinton ran, this time with the backing of his previous adversaries including Madison and Thomas Jefferson. They were discontent with Adams' patriot ways. Once more nonetheless, Adams conveyed the vote. Regardless, Clinton got an adequate number of votes to be viewed as a future suitable competitor. In 1800, Thomas Jefferson moved toward Clinton to be his bad habit official applicant, which he consented to. Be that as it may, Jefferson at last went with Aaron Burr. Clinton never completely believed Burr, and this doubt was demonstrated when Burr wouldn't consent to permit Jefferson to be named president when their discretionary votes were tied. In the political decision, Jefferson was named president in the place of delegates. Once more to keep Burr from re-emerging New York legislative issues, Clinton was chosen legislative leader of New York in 1801.